As farmers, a lot of times it's multi-generational that we've stayed on the family farm. Grandpa was never in a safety meeting. Dad was never in a safety meeting. So now the son that's taken over, he was never in a safety meeting. And on the farm, I think we take too much of that for granted that everybody knows what to do.
So because we can't see or smell or taste electricity, we don't always know when the hazard is present. You think about a grain bin, you can look at a grain bin and you assume some hazard, right? And immediately you think, I'm not gonna get in the grain bin. Electricity is different because again, you can't see it. You don't know how powerful it really is until it's like one wrong mistake. Always assume every wire is live and always take precautions as though there's an opportunity for electrocution.
If you're in any type of a vehicle and that wire comes in contact with the vehicle, whether it's a crane, whether it's a piece of farm equipment, your pickup truck, that vehicle could be energized and you would not know it because you can't hear, feel, or smell the electricity. And right now, the rubber tires could be giving it a resistance to going to ground. In other words, it can't flow yet past that clean, dry rubber tire. But yet when your moist body takes one step from the platform down to the ground, you're that path and it will take it at the speed of light. You need to stay right where you're at, call 911, let them know that you're entangled in a power line and that you are trapped in the piece of equipment at that point.
The only reason we would really advise somebody leave a cab if they have hit a overhead power line is if the cab or the piece of equipment is on fire. And in that instance, it's recommended that the individual make a clean jump from the piece of equipment. That means both feet and arms jumping from the equipment all at the same time, not stepping down and allowing yourself to be part of the electrical current to ground.
You cannot step off of that piece of equipment. You must jump free and clear. The best way is to land with your feet together and bunny hop as far away as possible.
So it's not uncommon to have hired farm help, seasonal farm help, and even youth helping out on the farm. And as a result, these individuals are often operating equipment that they may not be completely qualified to operate. They may not have the experience necessary. They might not have the physical or mental capabilities that it requires to operate this large equipment. And so they may not be aware of the hazards that exist, not just within the piece of equipment, but outside the equipment, including electrical hazards. Daily meetings of reminding where the hazards are, orientations for new workers, safety trainings for new workers are all really recommended.
In the cases when we're pulling into a field and we don't feel that there is the possibility to be as far away as we should to unfold, we need to have a spotter, somebody out there making sure that we're maintaining the proper distance that we need to be from the utility lines. And if you've got into the power line or bumped a pole and feel like, oh, that no harm, no foul, well, you know, you really don't know what maybe you've done. Always notify your utility to make sure that they come out and do an inspection. We'd rather be safe than sorry. The utility does not want that line falling across the road later on today.
So a couple things to keep in mind is that equipment is often the most hazardous when it's new. And so a good recommendation is to find a big open space and some time that you can use to really learn that piece of equipment. Learn how it drives, learn what all the buttons do so that you're not forced to learn on the go when you have equipment behind you or something in front of you.
With auto steer in the agriculture community, it has just been wonderful about making it so much easier for us to do a lot of different jobs, but also it's much easier for us to be distracted. When the combine's driving itself, I get to look at my phone, I can check radar, but you forget you've left the auger out on the combine. There's the power pole, the power line, and auto steer doesn't see that. So it takes us to be in that cab aware of our situation and our surroundings and always making sure that we know that we've got the utilities out there along the edges and even in some cases crossing across the middle of our field.
In the United States, approximately 1,000 people are killed each year from an electrical incident, and upwards of 30,000 are injured. The key to prevention is to, first of all, know where the hazards are and be aware of the environment. A lot of these injuries are preventable if we just slow down, we realize the capacity for an electrical hazard, and we're aware of where those are and stay away from them.